I just finished opening a bunch of Seance MetaZoo booster boxes, and I compared the results with some of my friends, some retailers and mass box openers who are diving through Seance all weekend right now, and together we have come up with a list of the 8 rarest and most valuable cards in the MetaZoo Seance set, and we're going to call them the Hateful 8. Here's everything you need to know. Let's go! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Argos Anonymous. I am Argos. What an insane weekend. Release weekends are so exciting. I would be packing up a ton of bundle boxes right now because I still have some packages left to be sent. I've sent out all Seance pre-orders that did not include theme decks or blister packs. Why, you ask? Because they haven't arrived yet. It looks like some retailers got their blister packs in on Friday, and I unfortunately was not one of those people. So I've received everything except for theme decks and blister packs, and as soon as they arrive, and they are in transit to me, so it should be any day now, the moment they arrive, I will send out everything that's left for Seance so that you can all dive into this tasty set. But while you're waiting, why not plan your approach, right? Why not know what singles to lovingly caress and which ones you can carelessly toss aside? And that's what this video is about. It turns out that there are 8 super chase higher rarity cards in Seance. These cards are only available in a fully holographic version. There are no reverse holos or non-holo versions of these cards, so they are much more difficult to pull, and most likely this will result in a higher secondary market value for these 8 cards. And this rarity pattern is similar to some other things we've seen from MetaZoo so far, like the Obnoxious 9 in the Kryptonation base set, or the Unlucky 13 in Nightfall, the Wild 7 in Wilderness, the Supersonic or Chevy Nova or Supernova or whatever you want to call them, 6 of UFO. Now we have the Hateful 8 of Seance. So without further ado, let's dive into it. Okay, so this is Hateful 8 number 1. This is the box art of the Seance MetaZoo set. Mr. Walking Sam himself, coming back from the base set is when Walking Sam first debuted. This card is only available in a fully holographic version and is very likely to command a high premium on secondary markets. Right now, I think it's going for between $50 and $65. Of note, these cards are pretty darn difficult to pull. Card number 2, the Sheep Squatch. Don't be fooled. If you pull, and I know this is going to happen. If you pull this card and you're like, there's no way this is a value card. You're going to see this at first and you don't look at his facial expression. He's so fierce. Don't make the mistake of underestimating this sheep. That boy means business. Put it in a sleeve, put it in a card saver. It belongs in a museum. Hateful 8 number 2. All right, and now on to Hateful 8 number 3, we have Lady Luck. Now, Lady Luck, people kind of knew from the beginning was a Hateful 8 card. They were focused in on it because it's a chick and gems and gold and a lot of things people always kind of focus on anyway. So everyone kind of knew Walking Sam was probably one of the hit cards of the set. Everyone kind of knew Lady Luck was also a hit card of the set, and guess what? You were right. So this is Hateful 8 number 3. We have the full holo 1 per spellbook Lady Luck High Roller card. So that's a fun one. She looks a little risky. I think boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, whatever you're into, if you see a girl like this in the wild, maybe keep a few feet away from that. I like how she's riding a Kickstarter WPT, like World Poker Tour MetaZoo card. That's a nice little touch. And then the 8-ball bra is a pretty nice touch as well. There's a lot of little cameos in this artwork. All right, so Hateful 8 number 4 is Cursed Contract. This 2-cost spirit spell is 3 per spellbook. I don't know how much value, often the beasties are chased because beasties are so much more collectible. For a spell to hold value, it really depends on the degree of short printing or the degree of the rarity of this Hateful 8 card. So unless it's very, very playable. So if you have like a powerful thing, sure, anything can have a lot of value if it's rare, right? But like a Prism Aura, for example, some of the auras, but that's because they're so playable. But the beasties people often collect because they associate with them. They resonate with a certain beastie, like Wendigo. It doesn't even have to be playable because it's just awesome, and so it's worth more money. So when you look at the Hateful 8, usually your shoot-ins for value are going to be the beasties. When you look at like artifacts or spells, it really has to like resonate or be playable in some other way. All right, Hateful 8 number 5, Satanic Panic. Satanic Panic is an Old Scratch cameo coming back in for Seance. Old Scratch was the secret rare card you could pull from the Nightfall booster boxes a year ago. So this is a nice tribute to Nightfall. We have Hateful 8 number 5, a spell, 3 per spellbook, dark, 3 cost aura, Satanic Panic. Love the artwork in there. This is like a reference to the 90s. There was all this like Satanism, crazy stuff kind of going on in the 90s. That was like Hateful Eight number 6, Embedding the Soul. Another spell, but coming in with a light spell actually. So we have several spells in this category of rare for this set. So that's kind of interesting to me. All right, for Hateful Eight card number 7, we're gonna go back to the old Scratch theme, which is a proven value element in MetaZoo. So we're expecting these Chains of Old Scratch and Satanic Panic to probably hold value just because Old Scratch is featured on the artwork. Chains of Old Scratch is a cool looking artifact, costs 1 neutral and 2 dark to play with 110 life points. And now last but not least, we have rounded out 7 of the full holo, no reverse holo, no non-holo chase cards of the MetaZoo Seance set. The last one is number 8, takes us all the way to, yes, ladies and gentlemen, the one you've all been waiting for, Possession Aura. Now this is following the footsteps of the secondary market success of Wilderness's Prism Aura and UFO's Neutrality Totality Aura. They gave us another aura in this set, and they again made it a rare chase card to pull. Possessed Aura is a beautiful card to look at. The artwork is fantastic. Looks awesome with the holo. This is number 8 of your Hateful Eight. So one thing to keep in mind in my own opening experience, my own personal experience, these are hard to pull, right? Like these are rare cards. What we're seeing is a little bit of clumping. So if you pull 1 in a box, you can pull 2, 3, 4, right? And if you pull 1 in a case, you might have a whole case of boxes that seems to be kind of like sprinkled a little bit heavily with this kind of stuff, you know? And then if you have cases without them, you might have none in the whole case. But bottom line is they're clearly short printed. They're clearly harder to pull. And by simple virtue of that, they are very likely to end up as the most valuable or most of the most valuable cards in the Seance set going forward. So when you look at eBay prices right now, what I noticed is that there are several of these Hateful Eight cards priced cheaper than a lot of other cards that are actually really common, like really easy to pull. Cards that people, I think, thought were going to be the chase, like that Edgar guy. People have him priced at like $30 in a lot of places, and then a couple of the Hateful Eight are like below $20. So right now there is definitely some opportunity in the market if you can find people that haven't quite caught on to which cards are rare and which cards are common, and that is where you'll be one step ahead if you've watched this video. So thank you, MetaFam, for stopping by. I always do appreciate this opportunity to understand the fine peoples of MetaZoo. I know there's a lot to talk about in the markets right now. People are going to come into the comments and they're going to be like, you didn't even talk about people mapping the booster boxes. And we could talk about that. We probably will talk about that at some point, but right now it's the Hateful Eight, my friend. I hope you're enjoying opening Seance, diving into some release event boxes, release events, playing MetaZoo with your friends. It's always a fantastic time. Stay tuned for more updates regarding all the news and happenings of Seance and what happens next for MetaZoo. This is Argos, signing out.